My name is Kai Ehrlich. I'm a resident of Providence, Rhode Island at 36 East Street. And I'm here because I'm embarrassed for the city, embarrassed that this meeting, last time it was held, you allowed more speaking time for people speaking racist vitriol than the people who are currently getting to speak today. On top of that, I'm embarrassed that you then called off that meeting by claiming that no one had their hands raised, when in actuality, you guys had turned off the feature that allowed people to raise their hands. So even people who had already raised their hand were not allowed to speak. You had two council people who then had to tell you that you need to re-hold a meeting while you quickly ended the meeting and cut everyone off. That is embarrassing for you and embarrassing for the state. You violated the rules of decorum and you should be held accountable for that. Beyond that, you have allowed the Providence Police Department's budget to balloon by 40% over the past decade, while the school's budget have failed to even grow by about 4%. If you match that to inflation, the school's budgets have sunk. They are not even matching inflation rates. Do you realize how ridiculous that is? There are 24,000 students who need assistance. Our schools are failing so bad, the state had to take them over, and yet you won't even fund them adequately. Yet you give enough money to the police departments that they are armed with military-style weapons that they do not need. The crime rates have not gone up during that time. There's no reason to continue funding them to the extent that you have. Beyond that, the Providence Police Department requires only 812 hours of training over the course of 24 weeks. Providence teachers require a graduate degree. Do you know how long it takes to get a graduate degree? Roughly 2,300 hours. That's 3 times the amount of time. Do you know what the starting salaries are? They're basically comparable. It makes no sense. Providence Police is required a basic GED, not even a college degree to do their job. And yet we still fund them at a far higher rate than we are willing to fund the educators who are leading the future of tomorrow. I'm embarrassed for this state. I'm embarrassed for you. I'm embarrassed for Speaker Mattiello, who didn't even know the history of the state, which I think speaks to the level of incompetence of the state. My time is up, I guess, but